All right, we are live back again, folks. This is incredible. Thank you so much for joining in this evening. You know what? Your presence, your consistency makes me consistent. You won't believe this, but it's because of you that keeps, it's because of you guys, that I remain consistent. Trust me, there's a lot of inertia at times because of health, because of other things, but it's the commitment. It's like that there are viewers, there are members who are waiting to attend these live sessions, and we must do something to show up. So I really appreciate all of you who take out time every single day to attend these live sessions. So everyone should pat their back. This means a lot. You won't believe this, but if you would realize that every single day you have an option, that how do you spend your time every single moment. Believe me, every single moment you have an option, that how should I spend my time. There was an era, if you all remember, where Big B, Amitabh Bachchan, used to say, "No baj gaye kya?" That is at 9 p.m. And that was the time where Kaun Banega Crorepati had started. So KBC was just in its nascent stage, and everyone was hooked up that, hey, it's 9 p.m., let us watch Big B, because it was altogether different format. And I really appreciate all of you who have showed up consistently for these sessions to gain value. And this shows a lot about your character. Folks, believe me, the way we spend our time can build your character. Believe me. Why do I say that? Every person, this is something which everyone knows. Even a child knows this for sure. For the first time when he learns time and clock, he makes a round circle. He places the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then he makes two hands. One is the hour hand, one is the minutes hand. Yes? And based upon the time given, he just draws it on the copy. That, okay, this is the hour hand, this is the minute hand, and that's how he draws it. And he knows this for sure, and even you know this for sure, that 24 hours is what we have. I won't exaggerate much. You're very much aware of it, that it's all about what you do in the 24 hours. Now, this is like, Devas, don't give us this gyan. Just tell us what we can do, how we can manage our time effectively so that we can be more and do more. What is it that sets some people apart from others? Do we think that, hey, Devas, you don't know me. I have a lot of responsibilities. My work pressure is huge. I have a lot of commitments at my family end, at my professional side. You don't know, Devas. I have to work for 6 days a week for 10 hours a day. It's hectic. I travel for 3 hours, 4 hours a day, Devas. It's hectic. Well, that can be your story, whereby you are struggling to manage your day, manage your time, manage your life. And you might come up with these statements, right? You are coming up with these statements that, hey, I cannot manage my time. I cannot manage my life. But if you look at it, people who have made big in their life, it is all because of their ability to manage time. Yes, folks. How do we manage time? I would like to ask you a few things. There are people out here. 1 second, folks. Okay. Perfect. Let's remove nuisance. All right. So the point was that if you look at it, that how are you spending your time? Or where do we lose our time? It is not about managing time. It's about managing your priorities. What is important for you? What is important for you? I always go by the cost and benefit analysis. I repeat, you always go by the cost and benefit analysis. Now, what is it? How much cost are you incurring in doing something? When I say cost, you're not paying by money, you're paying by your time. If you equate time equals to money, you know it. How much time you are putting in, how much time are you putting in, and how much return you're getting out of it. That's important. So, cost and benefit analysis. I think everyone understands money. I did not teach you that. Everyone understand that, okay, should I buy this product or not? If I pay X amount, do I get value equal to or more than X or no? Similarly, just check out with the cost and benefit analysis that if I do a task which is low cost and high benefit, I repeat, low cost and high benefit, something which takes less amount of time and gives you a lot of benefit, you would certainly pick up that task. It takes less effort, it takes less time. Do that task right away. You know what? You have to analyze as you watch this video, as you start examining your day, as you start evaluating your day from tomorrow onwards. Just have a look. Just have a look at how are you spending your day? In which tasks are you engrossed, are you involved, which are taking out your time? They are taking away your time, folks, like, believe it or not. So check out that if it is low cost and high benefit, go for it. Even if it is high cost and high benefit, if the benefit is there, right, then do the task. If not, then don't do it. If there's a task which requires a lot of effort but will not give you that kind of return, either avoid it or postpone it. There are many of us who are hesitant to say no. If someone gives you a task, maybe your manager, maybe your mom, maybe your dad, maybe anyone in the family, maybe anyone in the friend circle, it's very difficult for us to say a no. That no, I cannot say no to them. Why not? Because you do not give priority to yourself. The day you start giving priority to yourself, you would start growing. I would want everyone to post this in the comment section that I would give priority to myself. Because many a times we give so much of importance to others, what others want, that we just put ourselves at the bottom of the rack. And when we do that, we simply ignore what is important for us. So every one of you has to say this to yourself that yes, I would give priority to myself. You can extract, you can just read the history. All those people who have made big in their life, do you think that they did not have challenges in their life? They had many more challenges, but still they were able to identify what is important for them. They were able to say a no, N-O, no, that no, I cannot do this. When you say a no, it takes courage. It takes courage because you think that you would offend someone. You would offend someone by saying a no. So you say yes, yes, yes. As a result, you take a lot of stuff from everyone that I will do it. I will do it. But the reality is that you cannot do everything. That's a fact. That's a fact. You cannot do everything. And even if you try doing everything, the quality would be hampered. Yes or no? The quality would be hampered if you try to do everything beyond your capacity. So what is more important for you? Ask yourself what is more important for you. Is it to say yes and be a good boy, a good girl around in your society, in your office space, or doing something powerfully, judiciously, so that you get the results, and based upon those results, you can go ahead. Look around, folks. Look back and check it out at how many times you said a yes when you had to say a no. Oh, she will get angry at me. Oh, he will get offended. So what? If you're more concerned about those people, then you will never be able to manage your life, folks. Trust me, people who have achieved a lot in their life, they were very clear that I want to give priority to myself. And they were okay to say a no. Yes. If you can assist people, when I say saying a no, that does not mean that you don't care about people. If your team requires your support, do that. Nothing wrong with it. But do not do it in your prime hours. There's something called as prime hours and non-prime hours. I hope you get these concepts over here. There's something called as the peak hours and non-peak hours, prime hours and non-prime hours. Now, what are the prime hours? The prime hours are those hours when you are at the peak energy level. Identify that. For example, I have observed that I'm more active towards the end of the day as compared to the morning time. When I wake up, I'm not that energetic, that active as I'm active towards the end of the day. So my peak hour becomes the latter hours of the day, not the early hours. The later hours of the day becomes the peak hours for me. So observe what are your peak hours. The point is, folks, you need to understand, not everyone functions at the same frequency. There are some people who are super active in the morning hours. There are some people who are super active in the evening hours. So if you have to do something which requires a lot of gray cells, lot of engagement, lot of energy from your side, then do it in your peak hours. Do you get this? And a task which does not require much of your time. Example, if you have to browse through the internet or use social media, or you have to just do random shopping or window shopping or whatever, do that in your non-peak hours, because over there, you need not scratch your head. You need not scratch your head much. It's just like that, okay, I have to do this, simple. But if suppose there is some kind of meeting or some kind of decision which you have to take, then do that in your peak hours. Folks, understand that all the people who are super productive, super efficient are just playing with their energy, nothing else. It's the game of energy, not even time. Because if you can balance your energy, you can do more in that given time. Simple. It's as simple as that if you're attending this live session, it's been just 10-12 minutes that you have been through with me, you got a gist of how to manage time. You would have referred books, blogs, articles, and other stuff, and would have spent maybe few hours to get a gist of it. But when you watch a video which is so well designed, which is articulate, which is giving you the right direction, that, okay, this is what you need to do, you reduce your time, because you channel your energy towards one thing, which is giving you the deep insights. The point is that where do you spend your energy? Ask yourself. I would request that from tomorrow onwards, rather from today onwards, just prepare a diary, right? Keep a check that, okay, where am I spending my time? Don't be judgmental. Don't say, oh, don't say that. Just write it down that where am I spending my time? That's it. It is just a record. For example, in our smartphone is tracking everything. Yes or no? Our smartphone tracks everything. And it tells you that how many hours, how many minutes did you spend using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or maybe, YouTube or other apps, productivity apps and other apps. So your phone is calculating that, right? Similarly, you want to calculate, just calculate. The phone is not saying that, oh, you spend hours on Facebook. No, it just gives you a data for you to use your wisdom that, hey, I cannot continue like this if I have to optimize my day. I hope you get this, folks. I hope this is clear, right? So today onwards, just register that, okay, how many hours am I spending? Don't change anything. I'm not asking you to change your schedule. Don't do that. Let it continue for the next 1 week and prepare a report and submit that report to yourself. That, hey, this is the report after 1 week, whereby on Monday, I spent these many hours on XYZ. Just keep on noting that how are you spending your time? That's it. And after a week, review. That in these tasks, cost and benefit. Cost and benefit. Ask yourself that, hey, what I have done, was it giving me any benefit? Maybe short term, maybe long term. It's completely fine. Is there a benefit doing this? For example, watching this video at 9 o'clock. Is it beneficial for me? If it is low cost, because you don't pay anything for this, right? Barring your few MBs or your few GBs of data, that's it. That's the investment, low cost and high benefit. This is what you get from this session. Or perhaps if you watch any such video which gives you deep insights. If you're practicing public speaking for maybe an hour a day, check it out that where do you place that activity? Do you place that activity in low cost, high benefit or not? Check out the benefits which you get, folks. It's simple. Everyone works on the benefit. That if I'm spending this time with my friend over here, right? Is it that important that I have to spend time with them, knowing that I have something more important which has to be done? I'm not asking you to part your ways. Friendship should be maintained, should be nurtured. Nothing wrong with it. You should give time to your family. Nothing wrong with it. But it's all about priorities. Even I have a family. Even I can spend this hour with them, because there are some occasions where you feel like spending time with your family members, but still you prioritize that, hey, family, I have to give 1 hour to my amazing followers who would be waiting for me to attend this session, to, learn more. So it's a commitment that, yes, I have to impart values. Yeah, I have to impart the lessons. So you have to commit that this is important for me. This is important for the people I work for. So I would do it. It's a commitment. The reason why we started this 21-day regime, it's because research says that it takes 21 days to build a habit. It takes 21 days to build a habit. So I'm just experimenting. I have tried a lot of things. It took me around 17 to 16 days to come closer to a habit. It became in the auto mode, like automatic mode, where I need not push myself hard. I'm sure that all those who have been watching this live series from day one, you would have got used to it by now that, okay, I should wait for the 9 o'clock class. You would have changed your schedule in a way that I can have dinner along with it. No worries. Even that's an adaptation. Initially, you were having a smartphone in front of you, or you were watching Netflix on the screen and you're having your meal. Now that medium has changed. You are still watching something, but that something is adding value in your life. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense, folks, right? Folks, understand, all those who travel a lot with respect to reaching to their office, reaching to their college or anywhere else, I can relate to it. When I was working in the organizations back in Bangalore, Chennai, Mysore, I used to travel. And whenever I'm traveling, I do keep a backup of not songs. Songs is just like an extra backup. The major backup is either having a book, right, when I'm low on battery, or if I have, decent battery in my mobile phone or my laptop, I do ensure that I have some good podcasts to listen to or some good articles to read on my iPad, right? That's how I work. So I am utilizing my time. Tell me honestly, whenever you travel in a train, have you ever noticed people? I sometimes do this as a part of my research of human behavior. I do observe people that, hey, what these people are doing. People are like just sitting. And I'm like, what is wrong with him? Either look outside, look outside the window and see the beautiful scenery. But he's just looking at me. And I'm like, is he also having the same hobby of observing people? But that's not true. They're just looking at you and eating. And if you ask, and if you observe them after a few minutes, again, they're blank. And I wonder that This person spent 5 to 6 hours of his journey time doing nothing, doing nothing. Kindly add productivity, folks. It's all about what you do in those given hours. So travel time can be utilized. When you go for an evening walk, use your earphones, and over here you can talk to your family members. I do that. Because if I don't get time in the entire day, I find that time is there when I can talk to my family members while walking, right? Going for a brisk walk, I can do that. If not, you can plug into some songs and listen. Some good songs which can pep you up. That can be a way. So see, I'm not asking you to not enjoy life. No, it's just about that. How can you utilize this time? Or if listening to music is something which you live for, Divas, I cannot live without listening to music. Then listen to music when you are doing something else also. Do not just give 2 hours in a day unless and until it's your profession. If you're a musician, if you're an artist, then it's fine. That is your profession. But if it is not, then do not give that amount of time doing something which is not productive. I hope it's clear, right? So learn how to say no and learn how to utilize your extra time. The next thing that you ought to learn is to delegate. Repeat after me. You have to learn how to delegate. People are really, really, really bad at it. They're like, how can I ask him to work? How can I give him this task? No, I will do by myself. No, don't do that. Don't do that, my dear friend, because you ought to learn how to delegate. The great leaders, they know how to delegate. That, right now I'm occupied with this. If you could handle this part, you can ask your colleagues, you can ask your friends, you can ask your family members to assist you with something. It's simple. If you have some more work, do not get overburdened, because the moment you get overburdened, stressed, your productivity goes low. I hope you get this. Right? I hope you get this, right? I can see some questions out here. We'll be picking up questions in a while, but as of now, just listen to these tips. So delegation. Now, when you are delegating, you're not being rude to the other person. You're not offending the other person. As I said, that saying no is not offending. It's just that you are giving priority to your work. If there is an urgency, you can check that whether you can accommodate that work or not. You should be giving priority to your work, folks. It's simple. Taking ownership of your work. Yes. If you try listening to everyone, think about it. On a railway station, maximum times, there is someone who comes late. There's someone who would be rushing to catch the train. If the person who is in charge to give a green signal that the train may depart from the station, if he keeps on waiting, okay, 2 more minutes, okay, 1 more minute, okay, 5 more minutes, would the train depart on time? No, it will never. So you cannot accommodate everyone's request. You have to set a benchmark. You have to set a benchmark. I hope this is clear so far. The other tip which you have to imbibe in your life to be effective in your daily activities is not to overstress, not to stretch, and not to overstress. What I mean by this, many a times we think that if I have to finish a task, I would work on it for the next 4 hours. Don't disturb me, let me work on it. And those 4 hours are not that productive. Folks, it's all about productivity. Managing time is nothing more than productivity, being productive. You have to be productive. That's it. If you're productive, you'd be able to do more in less time. That's a no-brainer, I believe, right? So when you are doing this, right, when you are taking a break, maybe for example, you have to complete a project, complete a task, write an email, create a presentation, whatever it is. If it is 60 minutes, after working for maybe 50 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes at least 5 minutes. Take a break, right? Give your mind to unwind, some time to unwind. Give that time. That's important, because we think that I was working from 9 to 5. But again, what was the output? What was the output? That's the question. The focus is that I did given my 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, but I don't care. I care about the output. Every person would be concerned that if you've been hired, you've given 10 hours of your day, but the resultant is zero, right? So what do? We would be hiring that candidate who can do a similar stuff in less time. Folks, there's a difference being busy and being productive. I see the status of some people on WhatsApp, busy. We are not busy. It's just that when someone says that, hey, let's meet up. Are you like free for this evening? I'm busy. A lot of work. I'm busy. You're not busy, folks. It's just that you do not prioritize that person. You do not prioritize that person. And you guys know that how to prioritize based upon the cost and benefit analysis. Simple. Whether it is urgent, whether it is important, you need to ask yourself that question. And that would give you a clarity so as to, should I go ahead with this or not? So let me give you a recap of a few pointers that we have discussed so far. Even you can post in the comment section whatever points you remember after watching this video. There were a few points which I'd like to recap. The number one thing was to learn how to manage your energy. You have those peak hours, non-peak hours, prime hours, non-prime hours. Yes, channelize those hours to your advantage. Identify, observe, give that 1 week, observe, and then make a segregation that, okay, this is what I'll do, right? Thereafter, learn how to say no. Do not be a yes, sir, person. Learn to give priority to yourself and learn to say a no. Learn how to delegate. If you cannot do everything by yourself, do it. Or do give it to someone else. Let the other person take charge of it. That's important. The other tips, over to you. I hope you would be able to recall all the tips. And if you did, you can simply drop in all those learnings in the comment section so that you can always refer them again as you watch this video again. Awesome. So this brings me to the end of this live session, and I will see you live in the next one. Until then, you know what you have to do. Stay awesome and stay productive. But we'll take a few questions over here before we say adios, before we say bye-bye. And let me pull out some questions. Okay, so I have a question from Parul Sood, who says that if you have a lot of thoughts, how to prioritize the activities so you utilize your time? Parul, as I just said, that you have a lot of thought that I have to do this also, this also, this also. If I don't do this, this person would be offended. If I don't do this, this person will be offended. Ultimately, Parul, it is a 2x2 matrix. It is a 2x2 matrix with 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You place the so-called thoughts into those. For example, you have to drop an email, right? Or read the email. People have a habit to refresh their phone again and again and check. If your work does not require you to check your email frequently, given your half an hour slot in the day, that's, for example, maybe from 3 to 3:30, I would be checking out my emails. That is the day, that's the time where you are towards the fag end of your, daily routine. Maybe if you work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. So maybe towards the time when you go for a coffee break, a tea break, then maybe for half an hour, you can check out the emails. That can be one way. So you have allotted time. You can allot time to certain activities. For example, that I often call up my parents towards the end of the day. There are some people who would call up in the morning, in the lunchtime. That is like their call. But I often call them towards 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock when I'm free from the sessions, right? Depending upon what my schedule is, but towards the end of the day, because I have something to share with them, or the morning time I would give in to some other things. That's how I work, right? Or maybe after the session, before I move to the other tasks, because talking to your parents would not take that much of your headspace. It's just a discussion, just a conversation. So I can do it after the session also. Once the session is over, just call them up for a few minutes. It can also act as a break. You see this? I give you a tip that if you have 60 minutes for a given activity, you spend the first 50 minutes doing something and the next like 10 minutes relaxing yourself. So maybe after the session gets over, I would call them up and speak with them that, hey, how was the day for you? Right? So this ways I am managing my work, managing my life as well. I hope this makes sense. Okay. Mariam says, could you please tell me about your day? I mean, your timetable. So Mariam, I do not go by a daily timetable, which I follow because my work is such, which is flexible, right? So for example, on Sundays, I do a lot of sessions, right? I mean, you meet me every day from Monday to Friday in these sessions at 9 o'clock. But on Sunday, from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, I have a session. Then in the evening, from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. on an average, I have a session. And then I often have a session at 9 o'clock also. So that is Sunday for me. So the way people work over the weekdays, I work over the weekends, right? As far as the weekdays are concerned, it again depends that how much time do I spend on my stuff. I mean, generally my sessions on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube are planned around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, because that is the time where I get free from the entire day's schedule. And even everyone is free at that time. So that is how I do it, right? As far as giving time to fitness is concerned, I try doing that in the morning. No matter I'm not a morning person, I have to literally push myself out of the bed and inspire myself to wake up and do it. That's how I spend my morning hours. I read books. I not like read much books, but I listen to a lot of stuff in the entire day whenever I get time, whenever I'm like walking for lunch from my workplace to my home. And that is how I keep my things productive in the entire day. As far as my work is concerned, I do check my emails. If I have to create a presentation, then for my client, then what I'll do, I would be spending my evening hours because that is where I'm charged up. That's how I would spend my day. And there's a lot more. I think I need to do a session on how I spend my day, and I have to track everything for you and let you know. Okay, awesome. So one last question before we wrap it up. How best we can say no without hurting their ego? Great question. Great question. That we often think that if we say no, the person would be hurt. There's a way to say, and that's where your skills of communication come into picture. You say, I would really love to help you out, but right now I'm a bit occupied with this. If you don't mind, like, could I help you maybe after I finish this? Do you see this? I haven't said a no. I just said that, I would love to assist you, but right now I'm a bit occupied doing my stuff. Is it okay if I get back to you in a while? Well, if the person actually needs your help, he would wait. If he cannot progress without your input, he would wait. If he was just trying to bring you in, he'll finish it off by himself. So you ought to ask that whether you can do that work or not. How much time it would take you to do that work. You can say yes, provided you can accommodate. I would always say, do not take in more than what you can eat. It's a waste. It's waste, right? So never say, I can't do this. So I am sorry. These words hurt people. These words would hurt people. Don't do that. Just a way to say that I really love to help you. Just occupied with this presentation. Once I finish this, and I have a couple of more projects, like a couple of more tasks assigned by my boss. Once I finish these tasks, is it okay if I get back to you then? It's simple. I have been assigned some work. I'm doing that task. Once I finish these tasks, is it okay if I get back to you then? Sounds good? All right. Okay, on request, last question. Okay, last question. Okay, it says that sometimes family grievances make hindrance in output and productivity. How can manage that? I can relate with Vineet. I'm really close to my family. I mean, I don't say that that you're not attached to your family. Everyone is in some capacity or other. But somewhere down the line, with aging parents, a part of you is always there with them. That hey, I hope everything is fine with them or not. And sometimes when you do not give priority to them, you feel hurt. That oh my God, why am I working so hard if I'm not able to give them that comfort? Well, I had this internal conflict that what am I doing? Because there are days where I give lot number of hours to my work. As I said that my Sundays are jam packed. Weekdays I don't spend that much time on the sessions, but yes, like weekends I do give that time. So when you have this thought, right, I just convince myself that there is something called as security, right? Which I know that tomorrow in their old age, they're already old. And if I have to assist them, how would I assist them? We live in a country called India, where the government does not take care of us after we are 60 years of age, right? We do pay taxes, but the insurance, the education, we ought to pay for it. So I'm talking in a very blunt manner. The views are not for or against any political party. It's about government in general. Now, when you know that you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your parents, then you ought to understand that as they age, they would need medical support for which you ought to work to pay their bills. If the condition is such that you have to be at home with them, that's a different story altogether. But if it is about that you can give in more number of hours to ensure that in case there is a medical exigency, you have some funds to help them with their medical expenses, then you can trade that off without feeling guilty. I see many people having this guilt that I'm not spending time with my parents. Everyone wants to do that. Nobody wants to stay away from them, but it's about work at times. It's again about priorities. It's simple. I mean, I do give a priority to my career. Yes, some people don't, and that's completely fine. Not everyone has to be aspirational. I feel responsible that when there are close to a lakh people over the internet, be it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, who are following me to learn something from me, it's a responsibility on me that I have to serve them. If they are trusting me that Divas can add value in my life through his session, through his content, then it's a responsibility that I have to serve them. And I've learned this from my parents that yes, if someone is trusting you, then serve them, then serve them. So it's again a mindset, folks, that how you look at it. It's a very valid question. That's why I'm like going in detail, because many times we have this emotional imbalance. And as a result, we feel that I am not doing the right thing. It is not right. This is not right. And we feel bad internally. I give an example of parents. It can be for anyone with whom you are attached deeply. So try to be rational in your approach and be clear that would I be okay if I'm not aspirational? Would I be okay if I stop serving my community? I would not be okay. I would not be okay. And I've shared with my parents that, I would love to serve my community. And they're like, okay, go for it. When they need me, I am there. That's my responsibility as a son. So again, right? Urgent, important. I know that, okay, if I have to be there, then I am there. I would plan my day in such a way that I would be there with them. I hope this makes sense. So thanks for asking this question. This makes a lot of sense. And this is required for all the people out here who have this dilemma that how should I give time to my family and to other people, right? Awesome then. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would appreciate if you could share this video with your friends, family members, and say a big thank you to be a part of your life. And once this video is up, you can always drop in your comments about how much you loved this session, what you learned in this session. Do drop in your comments. I would really appreciate it. And I would see you live in the next session. Till then, stay awesome, stay productive. Bye-bye.